My ex-husband was a smoker. I have asthma. You got to stop smoking. Or, so we quit smoking. That's what I mean by you compromise. I want to live, by the ocean. You want to live in the backwoods. Well, we found a house that was right in the middle and it's not that far from the beach. That's what I mean by you compromising your relationship. You work with each other, not, you know, my hair is curly. I've always had curly hair, but because he only likes straight hair, I'm a perm this until I almost lose my edges just so that I can always have straight hair for him. No, no. Because you have to love me exactly where I'm at now. I may go ahead and put on a straight hair wig just for you, but I'm not getting ready to completely alter who I am as a person and completely alter my appearance just because that's the only way you're going to be happy with being here with me. And if I don't recreate your ex, then you're out. You need to be out anyway because you still love her. I ain't got time to play them games. Like, you've got to stop doing that to yourself. And like I said, it's more so us, but there are some men who will do it too. They will chase after that ex to make sure that he is the only man you were thinking about, and not in one of those I want to take care of you so that and when you think about the man that you love, you know that he's taking care of you, know that he loved you. Like, I'm the man that comes to your mind when you need something. I'm the man. Like, I've heard people say that I want to be the man that comes to your mind when you need something. You know you can come to me. That's completely different. Not, I want to make sure that I do everything he did, but do it 10 times better. So when you think about, well, who was the best at this, I'm the first person. Like, you're competing with her ex. And then where does that get you? Trying to continually do things bigger and better until there's nothing left of you. Because if you're constantly trying to be her ex and you're constantly trying to do better than her ex and you're constantly trying to do better than his ex and you're constantly trying to outdo his ex, where are you in the equation? Because the things that you're doing, they're not you. You're doing what he or she would have done, but you're not doing what you would do. Where are you in the equation? And that's why I said I felt really bad for my ex's wife because she did everything possible to try to recreate the things that he loved about me. But where is she at? And then she felt like she had won because they settled down and got married. But he settled down and married you because he could not settle down with the person that he wanted. And you are close enough because you'll keep doing the things that he likes that you don't like to do, but you're only doing them because you want to make sure that he never tries to go to his ex in order to get those things. This isn't you. You took on a husband and a new personality. That's a whole lot to do on a Wednesday. Like, it's too much. If he is not going to love you for the things that you do, then there's no reason to be there. Or if he really cares about you that much and maybe he doesn't realize that he's putting it off on you, because there's a couple of women that I know who they were so busy trying to get back to things they actually liked about their exes, they didn't realize that they were putting that off on their current boyfriends or their current husbands. Maybe he doesn't realize that this is what he's doing and you need to sit him down and say, listen, I know she used to make you lemon pound cake, but I don't even like lemons. So this is what I'm going to do. How you feel about that egg custard, though? Like, you have to get into situations where you don't completely lose yourself. You walking around with curly hair because my hair was curly and he always loves curly hair. And you don't even like your hair curly. You had to go and have some things altered to your hair for your hair to look like that. And you hate it. But as long as he's looking at your curly hair and he's not trying to look at his ex's curly hair, that's all you're happy about. That's not going to keep you happy but for so long. One day you're going to look in the mirror and have a whole fit on you, on him, the kids, the dog, everybody going to catch it because you're not happy in that situation. You're existing. I would even go so far as to say you're lightweight existing in another person's life. Like, it's not even really your life. This is some other woman's life that you are just the body that's there. Like, doesn't that sound depressing? You can't just exist in your relationship. Like, if my relationship was just one where I'm just existing, that I didn't ultimately know that this man loves me for exactly who I am and I love him for who he is. If I knew that I was just a fill-in for the one that got away, then I'm going to be the next one that gets away. Because I don't want to be your second pig. Like, I don't want to be a consolation prize. Like, you didn't win the big prize, but you got the tougher right here. So, yeah, you. Like, I don't want to do that. You know, you want to be the queen in your castle, not the maid who happened to just step up because the queen died. Like, and I know I'm probably going all over the place, and hopefully it's making sense, but I've noticed that there are a lot of us out here who are so desperate to have relationships. We are really willing to do anything. You are out here sucking on flat tummy tea, dyeing your hair 53 different colors, wearing contact lenses, getting breast implants and your butt injected with Fix a Flat, all types of stuff, just so that you can look like the woman that didn't want him in the first place. Like, can we talk about that for a minute? There's a reason they're not together. Now, either she wasn't all that great and he's just messing with you, or he ain't all that great and that's why she left him. And now you bending over backwards for somebody who wasn't that great in the first place. And I always tell people that people who aren't right for somebody else doesn't mean they're not right for the next person. But if this person is making you feel like you have to walk in the last person's shoes, then guess they're not right for you either. You need to let that one pass. Because at some point, you will find somebody who steps into a situation. And like I said, none of us walk away from our previous relationships just, okay, I walked out of it, done. There's something about it that sticks with you. There's something about every last one of my exes that sticks with me. Whether it's good or bad, that's a different conversation. But there's something I've learned from each situation. I grew a little bit more from each situation. I learned what I wanted out of another person from each situation. So now I know, okay, you know what? I don't like this. I do love this. I can't stand that. And I'm not good at this, so I need to work on that myself. Like, over time, I became a better person because of my previous relationships. Good, bad, or indifferent. But my previous relationships they're not the blueprint to the man I'm with now. Like, I didn't look at those and say, okay, if you take this and take that, remove this, add this. I mean, at this point, you're building a person. You know, put this in as a personality. He has to wear his hair this way. He has to have his clothes this way. Okay, great. If you could take this and just mimic this, you'd be the perfect person. Like, at this point, we really are building husbands and building wives and building boyfriends and building girlfriends. Like, we're trying to create people out of the bits and pieces of our exes. And like I said, it's not just from them wanting to put that off on you. There are some people who could really care less about their exes. Yes, I had an ex that I was tied to, but we're not together anymore. And I'm done with it. They're done with it. We have moved on. But for some reason, you just feel the need. You feel the need. You went to his mama's house and his mama was like, oh, you know, that picture, I would get rid of it, but his ex-girlfriend just did so many nice things for me. And, she bought me XYZ over here. And because the ex-girlfriend bought half of what's in mama's house, you felt the need to buy mama a house. No, stop it. Be in your situation because you want to be in your situation, and because the person that you're in that situation with ultimately loves you and you ultimately love that person. Be in your situation because you met somebody that you thought was cool and you want to get to know that person as a friend, and you want to build something and have a strong foundation, and that person wants the same thing from you. Be in it for that. Don't jump into a situation and start chasing ghosts. You running behind the last woman or running behind the last man, trying to make sure that the person you with now knows that you were better than anybody they ever dealt with. Don't do that. Because the other problem is this. You're going to keep running around trying to make sure that this person knows that you were better than their ex. And in a lot of cases, you will push somebody into missing their ex. Because you're so busy trying to prove to me that you were better than my ex. And you're starting to make my ex look better and better every single day. Because they weren't insane with it. Because, okay, me and my ex didn't work out. But my ex also wasn't trying to be the last man. He was just coming to the table as himself. We had some great times. We had some not so great times. But ultimately, it was a great relationship, but it just wasn't meant for us. I went my way. He went his way. Now I'm in a relationship with somebody who is constantly trying to be my ex. And it's a constant reminder of all the great things that I actually liked about my ex. So now I'm looking at you like, you know what? Well, why do I need you pretending to be him when I could just go back where I came from? It doesn't, at the end, it's not going to work out for you. Like I said, all it's going to do is ultimately put you in a position where it's going to drive you nuts. That's how you end up falling into depression. That's how you end up waking up one morning and not even knowing who you are. And if you are in a relationship where you can't even be yourself, and the person that you're with willingly lets you run around like a chicken with your head cut off, then you really need to sit back and reevaluate that whole situation. And not just the person. Because like I said, that person needs to be done with, if that's the case. But you really need to sit back and, before you get into another relationship, really focus on yourself. Because that's a I don't want to say a cry for help, but it's pretty darn close. There's something there within you that's not right, that you were okay with trying to be someone that you're not, in the hopes that you could get a relationship or a marriage out of somebody by turning into another person. Like, there's something within you that you need to work on. Because that's not normal. That's not something that people typically do. Just, I'm going to turn myself into XYZ woman because I know that was his ex. And I know how he felt about his ex. And if I could do this and be better than her, then he has to feel even more so about me than he felt about her. Like, his feelings for me got to be on 1,000 if they were on 500 with her. Like, there's something else going on there that you're okay with that. And you really need to go sit down and seek help for. And really get yourself in a position where you love you first before you ever step into another relationship. Because once you get to a place where you love you some you, now I've never had to get to that place. I've been fortunate that I have loved me for years. To the point where it's like almost self-centered. Like, I really have like crazy love for myself. And I guess that's because with all the things that I've been through, all the hand that I was dealt in life, it always seemed like other people didn't get or didn't understand me, and therefore I didn't always feel the love that they claimed they had for me, because